Playing the national anthem.
All right, folks, welcome to Saturday Night Hockey with High Button Sports. We have the Dukes at the Vitos here at the Q-Plex in Quispamsis, New Brunswick. Starting in net tonight for the Vitos, we have Samuel Milia, and for the Duke, we have Mason McCausland. Starting lineups out, and let's get this party started. Face-off, drawn back into Duke zone. Up to McClennan. Daggle fighting Godkin as Cormier comes in and picks that one away. He'll send that deep into Duke's zone as O'Toole goes on the chase. McCausland out, rims that around. Vitos taking control. Back in Duke's possession. Henry coming through as that picked away. Skating over. Couldn't get through to O'Toole on that one, or he would have had a breakaway on the net. Back in to Vito's zone. Cormier on the chase. Picked up neutral zone. O'Toole trying to get in. That's swiped away by McDonald. Battles at the boards up to Langell. Langell will chip that one in as Hartman goes after it, and Cooling will backhand that one back into Duke's zone. And Greeley will chase this one down. Duke taking a bit of a breather behind the net, sends that one up to McDonald. That'll be chipped high and gloved down by Livingston. And that is taken away by Langell as the pressure's on from Greeley, and Vitos gain control once again. That is Cooling on the body of McDonald. McDonald backhands deep as McQuaid races for the puck around and picked up. Greeley up to Cooling. Cooling one-on-one shot and a nice blocker save by McCausland to the corner and around. Greeley taking the hit. And Arbo to Godden. Godden backhands that back into Duke's zone. Duke going D to D. He's swiped in by Livingston. And offside, DeVito's got to tag up here as the Dukes misplay that pass off the skate, and that's out as Godden sends it back in, and Cutler will chase the puck down. Cutler gloves that one down, sends it deep as Green and Bowring go after it. Picked up there by Dunn. And a battle at the boards as McCormick sends it over to Dunn. Out front shot, and that goes wide, just off the pad of McCausland. Backhand up and out of play, and that'll send us to the face-off. Here with 17:08 left in the first period, 0-0. And so far, it's been a dominant performance by the Vitos in the Dukes zone. And this is the first regulation game for the Dukes since the 24th, when they played the Thunderbirds, coming away with a win on that one, 4-2. And they were away last weekend for the Spud, which they ended up clutching the win for the second year in a row. Back deep in Vito's zone, a pass out front, that's denied. And number 12 is Liam Moffat. He's the 2011 affiliate for the Vitos. And he's brought up from the U15 AAA Rangers. Ahern, carries that one in. And that is an offside call. We'll pull this one outside the Duke zone for the faceoff. And my apologies on the clock here, folks. We are 16:22 left. Face-off. One back to the Dukes. Henry goes D to D. Back to Henry. Henry looking at Dunn. Dunn had coverage. He's going to send that center ice to Dunn. All right, we are going to, since both Dunns are on the same line, we are going to call Campbell Dunn. We're going to say Campbell for Campbell Dunn. And then Sam Dunn. So number 10, Dunn. Number 14, Campbell. And back to the play we go. Deep in Vito's zone, looking up to O'Toole. O'Toole chips off the boards. Henry tries to send it back in offside where Dukes tag up. And they've given Vito's a little space here. McQuaid send that one deep. Back around as Wilson is in the battle for that one. He comes away with it. 2-on-1 for Wilson there, and he's fighting for his life. And that goes back into the stick of Sam Dunn, and that'll be sent down, no icing. Vitos just missed the puck there on the boards, and McDonald feather that one up center ice to pick up by Godkin. And Shanks going deep behind his own net, trying to pull that puck off the wall, but it's stolen away by McLennan. Vitos make their way through neutral zone. And Shanks gets that one in deep and around and back into neutral zone. Cooling. Pick this one up. Backhand right to McDonald. It looks like he was looking for Greeley and didn't quite have a good look there. McDonald pulls that one in all the way deep. Godden with the speed, almost going 2-on-1. He just sends one far right corner. Cooling. Looking for the pass. High slot to Livingston, just wide of his stick. Duke coming in, McLennan. Looking for Godkin, that was poked away. And a shot. And that was slowed down and blocked by Greeley. Greeley to the net, pass just behind him. Godden. And the shot and the blocker right out front. Puck picked up easily by Hartman. And they couldn't quite make their way all the way through. And Bellier coming 1-on-3 here. And he'll just send one off the side of McCausland. And he scores. And a Hail Mary shot from the goal line off the side of McCausland. Netting the first goal of this game for the Vitos. 13:32 left here in the first period, and we are 1-0 for the host team. And I'm not sure if there was an assist on that one. I think that was a lonely goal face off, one back to Green. Green will poke that one through. McKinnon. It's taken out at the legs. And Dukes looking to get the breakout. Coslin sent that up to Henry. And right there on net. Shot off the pad. And the rebound. Tried to send that to the net, but that was blocked. And Dukes gained control again. In behind the net. Looking to regroup and get this puck out of their zone. Up to Henry. Henry chips backhand off the glass, and that goes all the way to English, and that's an offside call. As, I think that was Langell making his way, and Cormier's not happy. And then Langell are having a few words here. And we will at the face-off dot just outside the Vitos zone. Oh, sorry, no. We are going all the way back into the Duke zone as that pass was caught after he crossed the line. Ahern at the draw. Can't see the numbers on the Dukes. Number 7 against Godkin. Godkin wins that back for Mertigan. And he'll chip that up into the neutral zone as Godkin takes control. Poked away by Moffitt. And Whitaker rims that one around. Shanks tries to pick that up, and he's tied up. Regains recovery. And that's sent to Moffitt. Moffitt having a look, taking his time. Backhand pass up to Godkin. Dukes back in control. Down in deep. And that is back up to the line as Arsenault holds it down. And then that's poked away by Whitaker, and Whitaker is going to chase this one down. Can't quite catch up. And that'll be up to McDonald. Tries to go through the skates to send it to Fisher. That was deflected, but managed to get it deep into the corner. Vitos steal that one away. So Arbo make his way forward. And he'll put that deep as the Vitos get a line change here. Godden. And Wilson has that one, sends it around. And that's an icing call against the Vitos. And we'll pull this one back down into Vitos zone for the faceoff. Oh, sorry. Wrong way. There we go. Draw back. Dukes win. Backhand back down into the corner. Just shy of done stick. Vitos chip that one off the glass. And icing's waved off as Henry picks that one up. Up. Trying to send that one up to Campbell. Campbell's lift stick, and that's no ice. McKinnon looking over to Cormier. Cormier backhands that one to Bowring, and Bowring almost had control. Back down into Vito's zone, and that'll be an icing call. Back. Pull this one into Duke's territory for the faceoff. Yeah, we're 10:32 left here in the first period. And it's 1-0 Vitos. Oh, McKinnon. The pressure forced him to pull this one out the blue line back into neutral zone. Vitos tag up, and Henry steals that puck away. And back in control. Pass up to Campbell. Campbell is going to race in against McKinnon. McKinnon gets there first. Around to Livingston. Livingston, one touch up to McKinnon. And that is taken away and then sent back down into Duke's zone by Ahern. And the team's getting some line changes here. McQuaid puts that one deep for Mernigan. Greeley tries to send that one back up. Intercepted. Back in Vitos' possession. Pass right out front in the skates of Greeley, and that's kicked behind. Duke looking to come out of their zone. Glennon, he's going to skate through. Him and Gardner, the shot, a nice pad save, and the backhand in behind the net. Cooling off the wall. As they battle for control. Shanks going one-on-one with Gardner. McLennan back to Gardner. Gardner sends one on net, and that's tipped by Shanks, and slow-moving puck off the pad of Milia. Vitos. And Greeley is going to ice this one. And we'll bring it back down to Vito's zone. Shots on goal, 3-2 for the Vitos. Vitos win the faceoff. Up to Cooling. Cooling off the glass. Greeley is going to chase this down against Bowring. Around the net, Bowring beats him to Langell. Langell send it to Hartman. Hartman couldn't quite get the speed to pick that one up, and that'll be off the boards and back into neutral zone. Pass up to Godden. Godden's going to walk this one in, drop back to Bellier. Bellier with the shot, gets his own rebound. Oh, and he shoots up and over the net. Reverse. No look pass, sends it right to the Duke stick. But Vitos regain control. Cutler sending it just wide of Ahern and Bellier's sticks, and the Dukes pick that one up. And they're back in Vitos territory. At the line. Chip back in to the corner. Out front, Godden denies any shot attempts. That is sent off the glass, back through neutral zone. And the Dukes will regroup here as the Vitos get some new legs on the ice. And chip pass up to McCormick. McCormick loses the puck to McKinnon. McKinnon having a look to Whitaker. Whitaker over to Cormier in the shins of McCormick, and luckily Whitaker was there. Moffat trying to hold down the line. Cormier right there, wide open shot, and that was tipped off the skates of somebody. I'm not sure who. And back out in neutral zone. McKinnon will chip that one off Fisher. And Fisher backhand to Henry. Henry looking at Mernigan. No, looking back to Fisher. And Fisher is going to try and get past Cormier. And they tussle to the ice together. Whitaker walks this one in. Nobody with him. Ahern behind him, and he loses an edge at the boards. And Mernigan's going to take control as they get that up to Dunn. Shanks aggravating at the boards with Ahern, and the Vitos back in control. Wilson to McQuaid. McQuaid sends one on net, and that'll be held. Caught and held by McCausland. And we are back at the face-off circle, just left of the Dukes netminder. Mason McCausland sitting third in the league as a goaltender with a save percentage of .926 and a goals against average of 1.92. Neutral zone, back down, sent back down behind the Vitos net. And chipped up to O'Toole, and that's gloved away by Campbell. Shanks up to Wilson. Wilson gets that poked away by English. And that'll be pinched against the boards as Shanks tries to get that away, and Campbell comes away with it. But that is back into sticks of the Vitos as O'Toole and Wilson come forward. Wilson makes the move around the man. That puck slides right into McCausland. Vitos games last weekend, they had a pair of games against the Kings, and they come away with a win 6-5 on Sunday, a loss 3-2 on Saturday. And face-off one back into Duke's zone. And right high slot shot, and a blocker save to the corner. Cooling around for Greeley. Greeley battling to get control. Backhand pass from Livingston. That goes in behind the net. McDonald around. Pass back into neutral zone as Gardner chips it deep and makes his way in against Arbeau. Back around and the shot, and that goes wide of the net. Godden sends it around. Murnigan trying to hold the line there, and that is chipped up over by Livingston, and that's going to be a nice call against the Vitos. And we will have a restart back down here in Vitos zone. 1-0 Vitos, 3:54 left here in the first period. Shots on goal 8-3 for the Vitos. And so far a fairly clean game with no penalties called yet. And Livingston, odd man rush with Cooling and Greeley. Couldn't get it through the skates as he's taken into the boards. And right there out front, the shot. And the boys are getting rough and tough on the ice. Murnigan not liking whatever was said by him to him by Livingston. And we'll see what the penalties are here. And Murnigan will be going to the box. I didn't see what the official called. I'll look it up here. I don't know what a headlock would constitute, but sounds like it'd be along the lines of roughing. And the Vitos will be getting the power play for 2. And the Dukes are running, missing a couple players as Kipton Alward and Dion Broussard are out for this game, and they have no affiliates. And Vitos win this one. O'Toole back. McQuaid makes a shot, and that is high and around. Held in by McKinnon. Yeah, Max McKinnon still leading the league as a defensive player in points with an impressive 24 points, 8 goals, 16 assists. Back to McKinnon. McKinnon tries to make the shot that's deflected off Godkin's stick, and now Dukes will get the clear. As Wilson gets chased down The Dukes go for a change. Wilson to Bellier. Bellier. And an offside call against the Vitos, I believe, is what it was. I didn't see any Vitos over the blue line there, so not sure what that was, but Cooling at the draw against McLennan. McLennan wins that back to Green. Green sends it right into Livingston's hand, and that'll be sent back to Cormier. Cormier is going to look up to Whitaker. Whitaker drop back. Sent to Cooling, and then Cooling to Livingston. Livingston walks this one in. That's poked away by the Dukes, and they gain control. He'll chip that one and go for the chase. And a good play there by Arsenault. Cormier. Makes the pass just wide of Cooling's stick, and Cooling pokes that one in. Dukes get the clear. Just a neutral zone, though. Cormier off his knee. Little block there. Sends that down to the ice. And only 10 seconds left in this power play. And so far, not too impressive by the Vitos by being a man up. Oh, and a little misstep there by Sam Dunn as he tried to put on the brakes and lost his footing. And that'll be chipped high as they come back to even strength. Bellier picks this one up. Out to Cutler. Cutler gets taken. And Dukes gain control again. Dunn through the neutral zone. Campbell Dunn. Send that deep and around. As Sam Dunn goes in and battles at the boards for that one. Be sent around by Cutler. Godden to Bellier. Bellier can't get the space he needs to get that cross-ice pass to get that back out of their zone. Henry trying to send that one in. That's deflected and right in the slot. Godden there. Send that one off the glass. And Livingston almost had that one and a clear break to the net, but that was sent back around. And the battle at the boards for Ahern against Bowring, and Bowring comes away with it up to McDonald. McDonald looking to Dunn, and Sam Dunn will chase this one in. And right in the slot, McDonald gets tied up and couldn't get a hold of that one for a shot. Chipped off the boards. Green will grab this one. Up to McDonald as Shanks comes in, blocks that pass, and that's it for the first period. And the Vitos are up by 1. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, about 12 minutes it looks like, for the second period. All right, folks, welcome back. Dukes at the Vitos. 1-0 Vitos. I'm Jake Gupta with High Button Sports, and bringing you the live action from the Q-Plex here in Quispam, Sis, New Brunswick. At the draw, we got Greeley versus Godkin. One back. Dukes gain control, chipped into the zone by Gardner. Cormier can bring that around and take the hit. As Cooling slaps that one in. Greeley's going to chase it down. Dukes back in control. Gardner chips that one over. Vitos just missed that. Cormier outside the blue line, and they'll have to tag up and reset Dukes. And that'll be an icing. No icing waved off. Cormier back around for McKinnon. McKinnon looking to Cooling. Cooling's going to chip that one high for Livingston. Livingston picks that one up in the feet. And that's back in the neutral zone. McKinnon slaps that one offside, and we will go to the face-off. And both benches getting a change here. Daggle won that back to Shanks. Shanks sends it in. And Mertigan puts that one around. And the lone penalty in this game is the one roughing that Mertigan took there late in the first period. Back to Mertigan. Sent deep for English. English pass gets blocked, and Wilson will make his way through 1-on-3 and lose the puck as they try to take the body of Henry. O'Toole taking Langell against the boards. Wilson will pick this one up, try to get it through. Drops the puck. O'Toole gets the shot on net, a rebound from Wilson, and a nice save there by McCausland. And so far the Vitos are out shooting the Dukes 9-3. And that's going to be a waved off icing as that comes around. Wilson is going to come in. O'Toole posted up. And at the boards, Arbo sends one on net. Wilson tried the tip, and that'll be a pad save from McCausland. That's chipped up to Arbo, and O'Toole will send that in deep, and that's gloved down by Henry. Arbo holding the line. He'll fire one on net, and McCausland will grab that one and hold on. And we are 7:41 left here in the second period. 1-0 for the Vitos. And the Dukes getting an infraction here, as Sam Dunn will take over for McCormick. One back to Godden. Godden takes the shot, pad save. Out to the left circle, picked up by Dunn. Campbell Dunn. And that is back to McDonald and poked away by Bellier. Bellier chases after it. Cutler coming in behind, pickpocket Pearson. And he takes the shot, and blocker save on that short side by McCausland. And Dukes coming in, and the shot and the save by Milia. And a great rush there by Campbell Dunn. And we have a hooking call coming up going against the Vitos, as Jake Arbo is going to sit for 2. And the Dukes will go on the power play at 17:10 left here in the second period. And the affiliate Liam Moffat making the first penalty kill line, along with Max— Noah Cormier and Sean Ahern. And Face-off in the feet. McKinnon can't quite pull that away. It'll be sent back to McDonald. McDonald over to McCormick. McCormick with the shot and a stick save to the corner as Sam Dunn goes in to pick that one up. Back to McCormick, over to McDonald. Campbell. Back to McDonald. McDonald with the shot. Deflections. And that'll be covered up by Malaya. And we will go to the face-off left of the Vitos netminder. 1:37 left in the power play for the Dukes. And we have Campbell at the draw in the feet. That'll be one back to McDonald. And Campbell in behind. Back to McDonald. Campbell to McDonald. Look at the shot, and that's into the chest of Sam Milia. Send us back to the face-off dot as both teams get a change here. Arsenault, Hartman, Langell, Fisher, and Mertigan for the Dukes are going to continue this power play. Back to Mertigan. Having a look, he sends that down to Hartman, and the shot and the pad save, rebound. Wilson sends that one to the corner. Back up to Mertigan. And the shot and the tip by, I think that's Arsenault. Yep, Arsenault, and that'll be a clear. Mertigan chases this one down, and the pressure from Wilson. Mertigan to Hartman. Hartman off the boards. He'll bring this one deep with Arsenault. And off the boards, Langell couldn't get there. And the clear by Shanks. Mertigan up to Hartman. Hartman misses that pass. Arsenault picks it up but misplays it. He'll go back in behind the net and come around. Walking this one through. He sends it to Fisher. Fisher loses the puck, picks it back up, and the pressure from McQuaid forces the pass, and they get the shot, and that's into the shins, and back to McQuaid, and they'll get clear. With 4 seconds left, it'll bring the Vitos back to even strength as Arbo makes his way out of the box. And it looks like he's going for the change. Stop to have a little poke there, and he will go to the box as Whitaker comes on. Back to even strength here, 14:54 left in the second period. 1-0 Vitos, and that puck is up and into the Dukes bench. And it must have been off the stick of one of the Vitos, as we'll have the face-off right of Vitos netminder. The Dukes had a good showing on that power play there as they got a few more shots on net and a few scoring attempts, just could not find the back. As Milia had some good saves there, putting himself in the right position. Cormier will chase this one down as the Boring fans on the puck. And that'll be chipped up and out of play by McDonald. Will be back to the face-off dot in the Duke zone. Cooling at the draw against Godkin, and Godkin wins that one back to McDonald. And McDonald bring that in around the net, send it over to McLennan. Vitos holding the line, and Cormier sends one on net, and that's a blocker save. And that'll be icing waved off. Oh, we have an icing call. I had a look, wasn't sure if that brushed somebody or not, but we have icing, and that'll be back down to Duke's territory. And Livingston center ice now against Godkin, and that's one back. McDonald. Battle at the boards. And a shot, and that's into the shins of Bowring. Godkin sends that around. Whitaker was there to dump that. Cooling couldn't quite get a hold of it. Off the glass. Cormier will glove that one down. Cooling in. Shot. And that is a save by McCausland. I wasn't too sure. It was a little bit of an awkward position there, and a great play by Cooling. As he walked that one in, he just could not chip that one up over the pad and the glove. Face off. Dukes win that one. Set to neutral zone. Arbo with time. D to D. Sends it up to the stick of Daggle. Now that is battles in the neutral zone as that is back to Henry. Mertigan to Henry. Henry looking for English to English. He'll chip this one in. Arsenault and English chase this one down against Arbo. And that is a round for O'Toole to pick up. O'Toole poked away at the blue line, still held in. And Wilson right there, looking for that short side, but didn't quite have the angle. Kicked in, Arbo puts one to Wilson. Wilson tries to drag it around. And battles against Mertigan in behind the net. English picks this one up. Mertigan. And that'll be a whistle. Sorry, guys. There was some craziness with Mertigan in behind the net. And Wilson. And Wilson was to the ice, and I think he was holding on to Mertigan. And then Mertigan kind of just dropped on him. And it looks like we're going to have a coincidental here as we'll go 5-on-5. 12:22 left here. And face-off won by the Vitos. And Pearson over to Cutler. Cutler couldn't make the move and get in, but they're deep, and Cutler comes away with it. Out front and off the skates of McDonald. Shot, and that couldn't get tipped in as that goes wide of the net into the corner. Shanks looking. And Cutler just missed that one. Dunn chipped this one up to Campbell. Campbell gloved it down, and that's picked up. And he's a breakaway and a shot and a nice save there by Milia. The breakaway for McCormick, and he couldn't capitalize to tie this game up. Pass to the slot, swiped away by McQuaid. Shanks, we're going to hold this one against the boards and wait for help. And that's up to Pearson. Pearson off the boards. Bellier will chase this one down with McDonald and Green, and it back to Cutler. Cutler all alone. Shot! And that's a save by McCausland as the boys start throwing some fists here. And this ref isn't having any of it. And it looks like McDonald of the Dukes is going to sit for roughing. 2 minutes. Vitos on yet another power play. With 11-11, Make-A-Wish left here in the second period. Power play line, Livingston, Cooling, Whitaker, Cormier, and Bellier. And infraction here. Just a warning. And Godkin for the Dukes is going to take this one. We got Bowring. We got Henry and Gardner killing this penalty off, and that's a clear right off the hop for the Dukes. So the coincidentals are 2 minutes for holding and 2 minutes for roughing, which I had assumed. And now the new penalty is another 2 minutes for roughing. So these officials want to keep a hold of this game so it doesn't get out of hand, and feel like they're doing a good job. Cooling coming with speed, and he'll drop that back over to Cormier. And Cormier sends that into the corner. Cooling to Livingston. Livingston walks this one in, and he chip backhand passes it up off the head of somebody. Livingston back to Cooling. Cooling having a look, and he'll send one in through traffic, and that's off the skate and the rebound. And battles in behind the net as the net gets knocked off. And Henry having some words with Bellier there as Vitos guys are looking to draw more penalties, it seems. And we are back at the face-off circle in the Dukes zone. Daggle at the draw. Connor Arsenault for the Dukes. And to the boards, Dukes try to get the clear, and that's blocked. And McKinnon has control over to Daggle. Daggle sends it deep to O'Toole, back to McKinnon. McKinnon to O'Toole. O'Toole shot, and that's a pad save by McCausland. Shot, and that is deflected wide. McQuaid to O'Toole, back to McKinnon. McKinnon. And Dukes closing the lane on that one, and he gets the shot. Greeley, not sure if he got the tip there, but a pad save by McCausland, and lots of shots here, lots of opportunities for the Vitos to find the back of the net. O'Toole and the shot, and that's deflected off the skates of Arsenault. McQuaid is going to walk this one around and get the boys cycling as we're almost back to even strength. And in behind the net, we are even as McDonald comes out to join the play. And a shot in behind the net. And a pass out front, no one's there. McKinnon looking. I thought he was going to turn and shoot. He'll rim that one. And that'll be cleared down, no ice. McKinnon coming through as he chips that one, and he'll chase after it. Going one-on-one with Mernigan. And McKinnon going head-to-head with Bowring against the boards. Hartman picks this one up for the Dukes. He'll walk it through center ice. And he's looking for that centering pass, and a Hearns there to block that one and bring it in behind. English against Greeley. Greeley chipped off the glass by Godden, and that is an icing call against the Vitos. And that'll come back down into the Vitos zone for the face-off. With 8:01 left here in the second period, 1-0 Vitos. Shots, 18 for the Vitos, 9 for the Dukes. Face-off, 1 to Ahern, and he sends that one around O'Toole. And that is an icing call against the Vitos, as he was just before the red line when he sent that in. And back at the draw, McCormick versus Greeley. And McCormick with the shot, and that's off the back of the net. Against the boards, Mernigan holding down the line. He'll send that deep as McCormick races. That's around to McDonald. McDonald fans on the shot, and that is pulled back out to neutral zone. Ahern trying to poke that one away. That'll be chipped in. Arbo having a look. Send that in around the net for Godden. Back to Arbo. And Arbo making the moves. Carson O'Toole chipping it high. Murdigan gloves this one down. Sends it back deep. No ice. And Vitos coming away with this one as Ahern makes his way through. Trying to get through three people. Puck's taken away. Brought back to Henry. Henry up to McCormick. And Dunn chase that one down, forcing the rim. And Henry is going to chase this one down, but it's an icing call. And we'll be back into Vito's zone with the face-off. 6:48 left here in the second period. Cutler wins this back for Godden. Godden looking at for... Godden's going to rush this one. Moffat with him as he drops this back, and the shot and a glove save. And we will go to the draw circle. Left of the Duke's netminder, Mason McCausland. And face-off in behind. Pearson chasing it down with Moffat. Cutler there. Dukes can't get it out. Shot, and that's a rolling puck to the other side. Wide of the net. No ice. English in, looking for that pass. And just behind Fisher. And that is chipped up into the Dukes bench. We are going to the face-off circle in the Vito zone. Cutler at the draw. Dukes win this one, and that is chipped up and out of play. Pearson getting tripped up there, and no call from the ref. McQuaid will send that around. Shot on net, and that's easily picked up by Milia. With 5:51 left in the second period. And the Dukes have seemed to come a little bit more alive here in this second period. Cooling wins that back and rimmed around. Livingston deflects that off his skates. And that'll be brought back by Murdigan. Murdigan up to McLennan, and that is stolen away by McKinnon. And the pass over to Livingston. Livingston looking, trying to make the move, loses the puck. And that'll be a Duke's possession as Milia misses the glove on that one, and that'll be in behind the net. Gardner with time, and that is sent wide across ice. And chipped off the glass, in, Cooling, tried to get that to Livingston, couldn't get a hold of the puck to make that pass as Livingston was in the slot all alone. Henry trying to make his move around Cormier, gets deep. Oh, and a big hit there by Ahern. Taking Henry into the boards. Livingston. And that's going to be rimmed around, and that'll be an icing call against the Vitos once again. And that will be brought back down into the Vito zone for a face-off. Cooling will do the honors here for the Vitos against English. That's Mason English. Hartman back to Bowring. Bowring sends it deep. Langell will put that around back to Hartman. And Hartman making the moves as the pressure's on from Cooling. Back to Henry. Henry takes the shot. That wide. And Bowring holds the line. Tries to send that deep. Stopped down by Arbo. Chipped up high in the air, and that is chased down by Henry as the Vitos try to get a change here. Duke's looking to capitalize on it, but they were quick on that one. Langell will have control in the Vitos zone. Back in around deep. English up to Bowring. Bowring try to walk this one in. He drops that one in, and a short side shot by Langell, and that is blocked by Milia. Hartman. The Dukes dominating the Vitos zone right now and getting lots of shots and scoring chances. Vitos finally make their way out. Arbo tries to get through. Bowring takes him into the boards. O'Toole will go in to retrieve and gets tripped up on his own stick, it looked like. Couldn't quite tell. Daggle going in. Arbo taken into the boards by Hartman. English retrieves that puck, and that's going to go over to Bowring, and Bowring tries to get the pass off, and Godden intercepts that one, sends that one in as McCausland plays that out to Dunn. And Wilson sent that one in, and it's just a back and forth game, cat and mouse right here. English over to Hartman. Hartman gets the shot off. Easy pad save there for Milia. Another shot, pad save. And that'll be chipped up. And Daggle is going to come with speed, and that's an offside as O'Toole was just ahead of the play. And Henry and Daggle having a few words there down in the corner. And the boys are going to be going. Wait, no, never mind. We are just going to go to a face-off for the offside. The official just kind of listened for a bit, then Class A blew his whistle. Face-off, one back to Henry. Henry over to McDonald. McDonald up to Dunn. Dunn making the moves, walking this one in, and Daggle with the back check and slaps that away out of his stick. Henry will glove that one down to himself. Over. Campbell puts it deep. He'll chase this one against Shanks. Daggle will send up to neutral zone. O'Toole will chase this one down against McDonald. McDonald and O'Toole. Wilson saving the day, putting that one deep. O'Toole just misses that puck. Shanks trying the interception, and Dunn denies that. Wilson, little move over to O'Toole. O'Toole with the shot, and that is in the chest of McCausland. And he will freeze that one up and send us to the face-off in Duke's territory. 1:23 left here in the second period, and it's 1-0 for the Vitos. And it looks like Carson O'Toole will be sitting for the remainder of this period, and then I didn't see what the penalty was for. I'll have a look on the game sheet and see what we got. Once it comes up. Slashing. Carson O'Toole, 2 minutes for slashing. Yeah, it looks like the Vitos will finish this one shorthanded and start number 3. Shorthanded. And one back, Cormier. Couldn't get the room to make the clear, and the Dukes come away with it. McDonald sending it. The shot and a pad save and the rebound. And that is denied as Milia makes the save with the help from Cormier on that rebound, scrambling to keep the puck from crossing the line. And the game remains 1-0 for the Vitos. The shot, the rebound, off the stick of Cormier, the puck trickling in the crease 2 inches from the line, and Milia makes the dive save to pull that puck away. Last minute of play here in the second period. 1-0 Vitos. Dukes on the power play. McDonald puts it deep to English. English taking his time. Back to McDonald. Right out front, the shot off the pads of Milia. Dunn sends it in. Campbell Dunn. And Sam Dunn up to McCormick. McCormick having the look, makes the shot, and that is no goal. Tipped down and out. I don't know how that didn't go in. I don't know whose stick that come off of. It was so quick. Time winding down here in the second period, and so far 2 great opportunities to sink one. And that tip caused that puck to bounce in the right direction in favor of the Vitos. 14 seconds left, and so far the Dukes have played this power play incredibly well. And a new lineout for this power play. A new penalty kill lineout for the Vitos. And Wilson take the draw against Hartman. A shot, and that is swiped free. Finally, Vitos get some breathing room as they send that puck for the clear back to Vito's zone. Mernigan having a look. 3 seconds left. Hartman is going to walk this one through, and Langell tries to bring it in to get one last shot, and that will do it for the second period. We will be back in about 12 minutes for the third. Vitos remain 1-0. My name is Jake Guptill, and this is High Button Sports, U16 AAA hockey. And we will be right back. Welcome back, folks. High Button Sports, Jake Upthall here. We have the Vitos hosting the Dukes here at the Qplex in Quispam Sis. 1-0 Vitos, period 3, 20 minutes on the clock, and the Dukes are starting off on a power play for 37 seconds as O'Toole is in the box for slashing from the end of the second face-off. One back to McKinnon and Dunn. Steal this one away. In. Couldn't get a hold of it to get that one on net. Campbell Dunn having a look. McCormick all the way over. Sent to Dunn, sent to... Oh, and missed the pass at the blue line. Greeley going with speed, chasing this one down, and he'll try to kill the last 10 seconds off this penalty as O'Toole prepares to come out of the box. Wilson tried to hold the line there, and that's from Dunn to Dunn, and they couldn't get it done. And back out front in the slot, picked up by McKinnon. McKinnon off the side of the net. Not a good look there, as that could have gone short side, but Millier was ready. Hartman going with speed, up, couldn't make the move. And Arsenault takes the hit. And through the neutral zone. Fisher gets taken out by Shanks. O'Toole out of the box as we're back to even strength, and that is an offside call. We'll pull this one outside the Dukes zone for the face-off. 1-0 Vitos. And the Dukes manage to have 20 shots on net now, tying the Vitos right now, as it wasn't a very even strength game as far as pucks making it to the net for the Dukes. As the Vitos led with about double the shots most of the games, but these power plays have been very well played by the Dukes. Mernigan swiping that one away from his netminder. And picked up by Hartman. Sent up the boards. Godden putting that one in as almost an offside. The boys had to tag up. O'Toole and Daggle. In Mernigan. Putting that one up for Godkin, and Fisher picks it up, sends it deep. Godden around to Arbo. Arbo trying to find his footing there. To Godden, back to Arbo. Up, chipped, high. Glove down by Daggle. Daggle up to O'Toole. O'Toole trying to chase this down. And he sends Mernigan to the boards. McLennan coming away with this one, going with Godkin. Tries to get the shot off, and that's poked away. And we have a penalty coming up. For slashing, and this is going to number 21, Jackson Gardner of the Dukes, and the Vitos are going to get a power play early on here in this third period with 17:14 left in regulation time. And power play line out. O'Toole, McKinnon, Bellier, Whitaker, and McQuaid to start this one off. Face off, one back. McKinnon to Bellier. Bellier wide to the shot, and that is padded in behind the net. And good on the line there as McKinnon almost drew that one out. Bellier to McKinnon. McKinnon takes the shot, and that's off the shoulder of O'Toole. O'Toole retrieve off the boards up to Bellier. Bellier cross ice. And the shot, he scores! Bellier to McQuaid. And Sutter McQuaid snipes one, making this a 2-0 game for the Vitos. And a great power play by the Vitos, putting them a little more comfortable here against the Dukes in this third period. Dukes win this one back to Mernigan. Mernigan sends it up. Langell off the skates of Hartman and picked up by Green. And back in, Green retrieved that one into the skates of Moffat, and that one is held in and sent deep by Ahern. Up to Langell. Langell, cross ice pass, goes to the boards. McKinnon is going to try to make the play out. And he gets across the red line in as Mahern battles at the boards against Mernigan. Come away with it. And we have an icing call coming up against the Dukes. Pull this puck back down into the Dukes zone for the face-off. Moffat trying to pick that one up in the slot. Couldn't get there. Battling center ice. And that's back to Shanks. Shanks sends it to McQuaid off the boards, back to neutral ice as Mernigan takes control and chips this one in. Shanks gloves this one down. And back to McQuaid. McQuaid sends it down, and that's an icing call against the Vitos. Giving Dukes a bit of a chance here in the Vitos end to gain control and get some more shots on Millier. Cutler at the draw against McCormick, and that is a misfire there from the official. As infractions. And one by Moffat, and that's going to go to Cutler. Cutler sends it deep. Ahern's going to chase this one down as some of the Vitos get the change up to McCormick, or McDonald, sorry. And back to McDonald. They go D to D as Bowring sends it up to McCormick. And done. Lost that one to Shanks. Shanks back to Arbo. Arbo tries to go back to Shanks, just missed as McDonald is going to battle for control here. He comes away with it. And back around, try and gain some space to make a play. And no ice. Shanks with that speed coming in. And the battle at the boards there. The boys are hitting around and we have a brush, so there's no ice. Bowring coming in. Right out front in the shot. And Greeley couldn't finish on that tip. In behind the net. Bowring comes away with it up to Campbell. Dunn trying to send that one over to Sam. And the Vitos had control, and a light pass going to Bellier was picked up easily, but back down in the Dukes zone. Goaltender's going to hold on to this one, make the pass, and that'll be chipped high in the air. English swipes that one, and that'll be sent deep by Pearson. Settled down by McCausland, and the missed pass to Fisher. Cormier and Godden are going to draw this one back up to Greeley, a little bit high and off the boards. English sends that one in deep, and nobody can seem to get anything quality going here from either team as it's been back and forth between their zones with these high chips and missed passes. And that slap shot was deflected wide off the stick of McKinnon, and that'll be a whistle. We'll go to the face-off in the Vito zone. 13:22 left here in regulation time, and the Vitos are up 2-0. Solo goal in the first period from Luke Bellier. And the second goal from McQuaid with an assist from, I believe it was Bellier. I'll have to double check that. In behind Vitos' net. Battle at the boards. Cormier getting taken to the ground as Fisher keeps pushing him. And we have a penalty coming up. And I'm not sure who's going to go on this one. It looks like they're going to take both. And nope, they're just going to take Fisher for continuously hammering Cormier into the ice. He's getting a roughing call, 2 minutes, and the Vitos back on the power play once again for the second time here in the third period. And one back, Cooling. Walking the line with speed. He goes to Cormier. Cormier tries to get the backhand pass, and that's deflected in behind the net. And back to the boards. Cormier to Livingston. Back to Cormier. Cormier right out front to Whitaker. Couldn't get a hold of that backhand to deflect that one in. Chipped up. Bellier trying to retrieve. Henry denies him of that. Whitaker will grab this one, put it deep, and the Dukes going to have this one to try and get the clear. Henry killing time. And that one sent into the chest. Livingston back in Vito's zone, picks this one up. And up to Cooling. And that's an offside call as we have a hurt Luke Bellier making his way to the bench. And we have a rough and tough tussle going on in the corner here. And I'm not sure what the problem is or who's going, but they're taking somebody after this one. It looks like Cooling from the Vitos and Godkin from the Dukes are going to sit on a coincidental. And both of them, 2 minutes roughing. 12 minutes even left in the third period, and 1 minute left on the penalty kill for the Dukes as the Vitos are still sitting on this power play. And the second goal in this game was the power play goal, Center McQuaid from Luke Bellier. So Luke Bellier bagging himself 2 points this game. And we have another penalty coming up. And this is going to get crazy. Wilson taking him as the official gets in there. And all the boys are going nuts. And the goalie's looking to get in on this one too. And we have Henry. Henry is getting kicked out, and we have O'Toole and Wilson sitting. And I'm not sure. And we got parents yelling at each other. 15, 16-year-olds playing hockey. And the officials are going to talk this one out as they try to figure out what exactly to put down as the calls here. And the captains are going to come out to and we'll see what the verdicts are. Henry gone. I'm not sure if O'Toole or Wilson will get sent on this one. But this is beautiful, beautiful maritime hockey. And we'll see what they come up with. There's definitely going to be some game suspensions here, I think, for fighting. And I did see one of the linesmen take a punch to the face as someone was trying to swing at one of the Dukes, and the linesman gets in there, and it was quite. And I thought the officials have been doing a good job keeping control of the game with the penalties from my perspective. And it looks like Wilson is getting the ejection on this one. Oh, no, Wilson. Yeah, Wilson's gone. So one from the Vitos and one from the Dukes are getting the game misconduct, and we'll have to check on the stats page to see if there's any beyond that. I think it's a minimum of 5 games for fighting, if that's what the refs end up calling this one. And they're going to be entering this one in now, and I will have a look at the game sheets online to see exactly what everybody's going for and what's going to happen with these guys. And I'll update you guys as soon as I see it. As we have Godkin from the Dukes in the box for 51 seconds. And we have Nash Langell sitting for 2 minutes. And we'll wait. And the Dukes parents aren't happy with this one, as the Vitos are getting a 5-on-3 in a 2-0 game. And that is one back all the way to Vito's zone with 44 seconds to play with on this 2-man advantage. And McKinnon, he's going to walk this one through the neutral zone and send it to Daggle. Daggle going to try to get set up, and that one's swiped away by Mernigan, as Daggle taking his time and not realizing who was in front of him. Daggle wide the ice to McKinnon. McKinnon look and shoot, and that's a save by McCausland. And that'll be cleared out to the neutral zone. And coming in with speed, Livingston. Up in the air, he'll glove that one back to himself, and a shot. And the goaltender being in the net that deep, it almost looked like that should have been a goal. And that's the whistle. Will go to the face-off. 6 seconds left in the 2-man advantage for the Vitos as Fisher, or Godkin. Who did they put that in for? Fisher's at the door looking like he's getting ready to go. Oh, so Fisher and Godkin are in the box, and Fisher will be coming out first. Godkin will be coming out after that. And the puck back down into Vito's zone. Cormier is going to drop this off for Livingston. And Tripp. Livingston making his way through with speed. And he'll walk this one in and a shot and a pad save, and a nice job by Tripp getting that one in and getting the shot. And there was lots of holes on that short side, but he just didn't get that puck lifted. And McCausland makes the pad save, and the pass just wide of the stick of Moffat, and that'll be a clear as they are now 5-on-4 for the Vitos. Duke's going to play a man down for 24 seconds. Cormier will chip that in as he goes head-to-head with Murnaghan into the boards. Gardner in there for help with Greeley. Moffat, backhand to Godden. And now Greeley taking the hit. Bellier with the shot, blockered. Back over, Godden's going to retrieve this one and send it into the corner. Greeley fanned on it by the Dukes. Number 11, Bowring. And fanned again by Bowring. And then he'll finally get a hold of it to get that cleared. Back to Shanks, Shanks to Bellier. And we are back to even strength. And that'll be covered up by the Dukes goaltender. And to update you guys on the penalties here, we have... All right. So Godkin's out. So all these 11:52s, we have charging William Henry, roughing Carson O'Toole of the Vitos. Head contact, 4 minutes to Cameron Wilson. A 10-minute misconduct to Wilson for unsportsmanlike. And a 10-minute... And this keeps on switching and updating on the game sheets. Cameron Wilson, head contact, 4-minute minor. William Henry, head contact, 4-minute minor. Cameron Wilson. Oh, this app is not working. Moffat stands on the shot in the high slot. Gets a hold of it and tries to send it, and that's deflected wide. Moffat up to McQuaid. McQuaid with the shot tipped, and that is off the goaltender and up and over. Pearson coming in, trying to get a hold of it. Done through the neutral zone. He'll send that wide of the net off the board. Shanks picking this one up to Moffat. Moffat to Ahern. Back in behind Pearson, trying to make the play. And he'll retrieve that back on his stick, walking this through the neutral zone. Toe dragged, gets in, and we have a hooking call coming up against the Dukes. Sending Vitos to the power play yet again as Pearson goes crashing into the boards. With 8:36 left here in the game, it's 2-0 Vitos. And not what the Dukes need as Murnaghan is going to sit for 2. Face off. Back to the corner. Vitos in control. Cooling backhands this one in for Green. And that'll be cleared of the Duke zone as Cormier grabs this one. Godkin circling. Cormier to Cooling. Cooling with speed. Backhands to Bellier, and he'll rim that around as Whitaker goes to chase this one down with Cormier. And the Vitos looking to get set up here, but the pressure on the puck. Godkin, brings this one in, and Millier makes the glove save. to Bellier. Bellier, he just misses that one, and he'll do the behind-the-back little pass as Whitaker picks this one up. And a good job by the Dukes here getting the Vitos to kill off this time. To Cooling. Cooling walks this one in, drop back and a shot, and that's in the shins. And to the corner. On the stick, and he gets the breakaway, and here goes Godkin all alone, and the shot, he scores! Short-handed goal for Cohen Godkin of the Dukes. Breaking the shutout with 7:12 left here and making it a one-goal spread. And a Cohen Godkin goal for the Dukes, unassisted. Back at the face-off, we got Daggle against Hartman. 7:12 left. Vitos, 30 seconds left to capitalize on this power play. And so far, it hasn't been a very good showing. Oh, McKinnon picking that one up. And a great play there by McLennan. He just could not capitalize on it as the pressure from the Vitos defense denied him of any decent shot. McKinnon's going to chase this one in deep. Back up. We have Pearson battling at the boards. Dukes come away with this one. McDonald going with Bowring to Bowring. Picked off by Greeley. Greeley up the boards, and that'll be sent for an icing call as we draw this one back down into Vito's zone for a face-off. 6:13 left here in regulation time, and it's a 2-1 game. McCormick, Daggle. At the face-off, Vitos win this one. Greeley trying to come through the neutral zone. He's blocked by Dunn. Dukes gain control. Pearson taking down the captain. Greeley chipped this one in as the rest of the Vitos get the change. And they're in the corner, trying to gain control. And the battles. Godden grabs that at the blue line, sends it wide to the opposite corner. Chipped up and high to the neutral zone, and we have a 2-on-1. No, Daggle in with the back check. And denying Dunn of that puck, Daggle. And offside call as Ahern comes in thinking it was on. Daggle didn't have it on his stick when he crossed the line, so we will pull this one outside the blue line for the face-off. Cutler versus English. Vitos win this one. Ahern in control. Sends it deep. Picks this one up, and he's looking as that's pickpocketed away by Mernigan. 5 minutes left. And the boys going for the body, not the puck on the Vitos there. Ahern and, no, that's Ahern. And that's an icing call against the Dukes. And this will be back down in the Duke zone for the face-off. Shots on goal, 26-22 for the Vitos. Cooling at the draw, and a shot off the face-off, and that's a pad save by McCausland. Shanks making the moves, looking for help, rimmed around. Livingston getting knocked off the puck at the boards. Dukes, English over to Arsenault. Arsenault sends it back to the Vitos. That'd be chipped up into the neutral zone as Whitaker's going to chase this one down against Mernigan and sent in deep by Cooling. Pass right into the shoulder of English. And that got stuck in his jersey, but he realized it, carried it. And they're back in the Vitos territory. McDonald fires one deep. Livingston chipped that one up. Bowring sends it back in. Battle, Cooling comes away with it. Tries to get the chip out of the zone. McQuaid having a look. And that's over. Back around for Whitaker. Cooling off the boards. And that'll be picked up for Livingston. Livingston trying to get the backhand, and he shoots. And that is a save underneath the pad of McCausland. With 3:15 left in the game, 2-1 for the Vitos. And we are at the face-off in Duke's zone. Bellier against Godkin. And the draw back to Cormier. Cormier takes the shot. Easy blocker save for McCausland. That goes to the corner. And Daggle is looking to gain control. O'Toole sends it back around. Bellier taking the man into the boards as McDonald absorbs that hit. Battles. And that is back to the neutral zone. McKinnon will gain control of this one. The Dukes getting a couple of fresh legs on the ice. Pass up to the neutral zone. Pass miss. Some touch passes going, and they get back deep in the Vito zone as Campbell Dunn goes on the chase. And Godkin taking Max McKinnon into the boards. Vitos get the puck back in the Duke zone as they battle to try and gain control. In behind the net, Dukes. And Dunn. And that is no offside on that one as Dunn sends that one in behind. Up the boards and back into the neutral zone. Mernigan, backhand pass to McCormick. McCormick over to Dunn. Dunn trying to find a lane. Right out. Pass out front, and that was denied by Arbo. In the shot. Wide. Just shy of the pads of Billier. And whistle. And I'm not sure what happened or why there was a whistle. I don't know. I must have missed the offside or something because I'm tired. But 1:36 left here in the third period, and here we go. Dukes win this one. Mernigan up to Arsenault. Arsenault sends that one in, and McQuaid will fire that one in. Icing waved off, picked up by Bowring. Up to Mernigan. Mernigan. I don't even know if this kid's got off the ice yet tonight as he has had a ton of play time. Bowring back. Empty net for the Dukes. And that is sent up. And icing call against the Dukes on that one. As McCausland will go back to his net. The pass missed at the blue line. with that stretch pass from the Duke zone. 104 left. 2-1 Vitos. Dukes looking to tie it up and send them into overtime. Livingston sends it back deep as Mernigan has a look. 50 seconds left. Sent up. Done. Couldn't get a hold of it, and McQuaid puts that back in Duke's zone. Mernigan having a look. He'll send that one deep as the Dukes go 6-on-5. McCausland to the bench. English and Arsenault. Cooling's going to gain control, and he'll just send the backhand for Tripp. Livingston, and they're looking for an empty netter here. Tripp. No call on that one. McDonald walking this one in. Slide pass out front, no one there. McKinnon let that one go right to the boards. McKinnon's going to hold this one 2-1, and that is a Vitos win. 2-1 for the Vitos, and that will send them above the Dukes in the standings. The Dukes have been sitting first, and the Cabot Highlander had taken their spot, and no, this puts them tied. Sorry. This will tie the Dukes for second place, I believe. I'll have to look it up. Either way, great game. Lots of fun. And next up on the schedule, and no shaking hands because of the roughness here. And what do we have on the schedule here? I looked it up earlier, but I forgot. Tomorrow morning, guys, you will catch the Dukes and the Vitos again at 11 a.m. at the Qplex or on High Button Sports. Don't forget to like us on our socials as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. My name is Jake Guptill, and I won't be available tomorrow, but I believe Deedon is back in the St. John area to bring you guys your Vitos Dukes action. So thank you all for tuning in. And